Tonight we are looking at the Aberlour A'bunadh Batch number 75, 60.9% ABV, natural color, non-chill filtered, cost around €100 here in Belgium. A big strong boy, and yeah, I did have some previous experience with this expression. The one that I had a little bit of a mishap with the cork. If you want to go look at the video, this one was batch 59, bottled at 61.1% ABV. So yeah, a whiskey that packs a punch, a whiskey that is packed full of flavor. Of course, it is a Speyside Single Malt whiskey from the Aberlour distillery. And yeah, what does €100 get you? Well, we shall see on the nose and on the taste. Of course, welcome to the Whiskey Lovers Society with me, Gert Retief. And before we go on, a big shout out to all my new subscribers. And of course, all the people that are trying to sponsor or contributing to the kids in South Africa. I really appreciate all the help, the super chats. And of course, if you cannot afford anything, that like, subscribe. And of course, if you share the content, the more people see it, the more ad revenue we get. And 100% of that goes towards kids in South Africa. And it will be only to buy them food for every day. So back to the whiskey. I do like Aberlour. I have, well, I had about 2 or 3 bottles of the 12-year-old. They are relatively cheap. And of course, it's an age statement. And of course, they are known for their nice sherry cask or sherry cask finish. Now, this one, Oloroso Sherry Batch, Spanish Oloroso, and that really ticks the boxes. That high ABV, 60.9% ABV, is something that I crave. I like it, and I like the idea that if I wanted a little bit proof down, I add a drop or 2 of water and I drink it the way that I like. If it's 40%, sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find that perfect spot. This one, yeah, I'll start off without water and then I will decide if I need to add water to this one. It is a strong boy. And on the nose, well, let's start with the color. The color, for no age statement whiskey, of course, sherry cask influence, and you can see quite a light amber color popping out. So quite a lot of sherry influences. Though the 58 batch was a big sherry monster for me, although he didn't look the part. Now, I just did a review of the Kavalan Solus Sherry Cask whiskey. I will put it in the end card if you want to go look. And if you compare the two color-wise, both are no age statement whiskey, but this one is quite lighter than the Kavalan. Also a no age statement whiskey. So back to tonight's one, batch 75. So every year they bring out a new batch. So you're not going to really run out of them. The only thing that you're going to run out, maybe not going to be possible to get 75. It's still available here online in Belgium, so I think they do make quite a lot of them. How much? I didn't go check, but I presume it's quite a lot if it's still available. Now, the first thing that comes to mind, it is 60.9% ABV. Now, I would have expected this thing to be quite volatile on the nose. Even if you do an agitation, release those molecules, it is such a mellow whiskey. I get almost nothing of that alcohol. There's no alcohol punch. There's not that youthful note, that ethanol, that nail polish remover. Sherry, very sweet, dark fruits, again, loads and loads of that Christmas cake in a glass. And it is just pleasant. And how they do it, I don't really know. I don't understand. Well, I don't even, I'm not sure if I want to know. How do they get such a high ABV whiskey and a no-age statement whiskey to have this mellow notes coming out? So that the raisins is there, that date figs are there. I get a little bit of a cinnamon. No, not cinnamon, more vanilla type of notes coming out. There's a hint of a chocolate, but not like the Kavalan that had more dark chocolate notes. This is just a suggestion of a chocolate note coming out, or a cacao note coming out. And it is, well, it's not a complex one. When you read all the labels and you see the maturation, you expect certain notes. And this one is giving you those notes, but it's not like they put something on top that, wow, this is a little bit different, a little bit strange. It gives you what you expect to find in a whiskey matured in Oloroso sherry butts. It's pleasant, friendly. There's a little bit of a woody component coming out now. Not much, but it's a little bit of an oaky note, or oak that was polished a little bit. So it is not just a fresh oak, that fresh dust from a plain oak piece. It's a little bit more mature in the oak, a little older oak that has not been touched for a while, and you plane that and you get that darker note that comes out. Now, sounds a little bit strange, but that's what I pick up. Now, I do like the nose, and about the taste, be careful with this one. It is quite high. Now, expectations. Anything with 60%, it's going to evaporate very fast. It's going to then leave you that residue, and it will give you the flavors that comes from that residue. If you add a little bit of water, of course you will open up some of the flavors. So sometimes it is a good idea, especially at 60%, add a couple of drops of water. Now in this case, I will take a very small sip. I will try to just mix it through the mouth, and just to see what flavors I can get. And of course, if it is too much, I will then add some water. So without water, cheers. Wow. Now, I expected that evaporation. I didn't get that. There was a big sweet note, big dark raisin notes, that almost sugary molasses, dark caramelized honey, darkness, dark fruit, Christmas cake, but not the traditional Christmas cake that I pick up. It's a little bit of a more oomph, and I think that has got to do with that high ABV. Now there's a nice warm feeling that's created all the way down to the stomach. It did not kick me. It did not shock me. It did not shock the taste buds into saying that you need to add water to this one. It is too high. That evaporation didn't happen. A little bit of an oily note in the beginning, and after that you get a little bit of a dry mouthfeel with that alcohol just cleans out the palate completely. Just want to take a wee sip again. Cheers. Now, I don't think I would add water to this one, because this is the way that I like to drink it. Now, well, there's drinking and there's drinking. For me, whiskey is never to be, well, there should never be a hurry when you drink whiskey. If you pour yourself a wee dram like this, 20 minutes maybe, even longer, just very small couple of drops in the mouth to savor it, to enjoy it. If you're going to take this one and it's done, definitely when you should stop drinking, I think. For me, it is not about that. So I like high ABV whiskies. I drink whiskies normally at cask strength. And if it's lower level, 46 and upwards, normally would not add water to it. Sometimes I think the distillery knew what was the best one, where to stop, especially if they do a little bit of watering down. They know where to stop. They are the experts. We are the drinkers. And I'm not going to tell them how I should drink it. And if they tell me 48% is perfect for them, it's perfect for me. Of course, not every day we are going to follow that rules, but in Belgium, cold, raining, don't see the sun, you feel it in the bones, you need to warm up that bones a little bit. This is a perfect bone warmer for me. One more try. Now, in the start, I said I will decide if I'm going to add a little bit of water. I'm not going to add water. I'm not going to ruin a good thing that I have here. The sweetness is there, that everything is just ticking the boxes for me. That little warmth, all it tells me, don't take a bigger sip. Wait a minute or two, take another sip, but just a little one, and then enjoy the whiskey. So that's me on the Aberlour batch number 75, the A'bunadh high strength bad boy. What do you think? Have you tried it? Is it something that you would encourage your friends to try? And of course, if you have a bottle, it's not that expensive. Well, it is kind of expensive, but at 60% ABV, you can get quite a lot out of a bottle like that if you decide to add water. Drink sparingly. It's not a race. It's a slow walk in the woods. And of course, please remember to like, share and subscribe. Leave a comment which Aberlour is the best one for you, which one that you enjoy the most. Or do you think they more or less all the same, just a little bit of a difference with the ABV? So thank you very much, and I see you next time. Cheers.